Hey guys, I want to share this. Hopefully that title caught you, right? It doesn't tell you anything about what I'm doing, but the focus of this conversation here is you got to get back to doing the stuff that you know. Okay, here's the thing that people are missing. You are probably falling into this trap as well. It's the smallest exception of clients that we see and that we come across who are tried and true with this concept. And here's the deal. We all say, just work with your ideal clients. Find the clients that you know you serve, the ones you're in alignment with. But then we want to make revenue. We want to make money, which is a very real challenge that is presented to every single business owner. So then we start casting a wider net than we probably should. And more importantly, then more a wider net than we're probably actually ready to serve. So here's what I'm really wanting to get to. The more on point you are with your brand, the more on point you are with your clarity, right, around who you are. And the thing is, if you're not revisiting this regularly, and if you're a fast growth company, you have to revisit this more than annually. This has to be checked out quarterly. Right? Just consistently, you should always be checking in with yourself, with your team, with your company, because as you develop and evolve and grow, excuse me, we talked about this in the waterfall video that we just did yesterday, right? Check that one out if you didn't see it. And as you evolve, so should your message, so should your conversation, so should the points that you're making with your people. And understanding that conversation has to always be in check throughout your team, right? Look at your sales team. Look at your customer service. Look at your team and how it's formed. As you bring people in, there's so many times that you partner up with somebody, you bring somebody into the fold because they can help you get someplace. But then if you're not checking in to see, are you all growing at the same rate, then you're going to reach points where you've outgrown them. Or possibly they've outgrown you, so they no longer are in alignment, right? So you have to make sure that you're aware of it, so that you're focusing on it, so that everybody in your company is speaking the same language, and that you're speaking the same way to your clients. So when you're on the phone or marketing or on a webinar to your potential clients, you're clearly aware that of how they're evolving in this conversation. Because if they're on your list, they're in your world, they're watching your videos, they're out in the internet and the Facebook worlds and wherever else you find your people, your podcasts. Somebody could have been following you for a year, 6 months, 12 months, too longer. And if they are on that journey with you, their perspective is also evolving on that journey with you. So they're in sync. But there's plenty of people who jumped into your world at one stage and maybe they checked out. They haven't been tuning into everything that you've been sharing. And now they come at you at a different place. How are you catching them up? Right? You've evolved. They possibly haven't. They could be possibly at the same place they were when they first stepped into your world. So make sure you are aware of how to bridge that gap, and making sure that they're following along so that you're not trying to have a conversation that is too far down the road for them or too far upstream, as we were talking about the waterfall message. Okay, so the moral of this whole story here is you've got to check in and make sure that your company is growing at the right rate, that everybody is on the same journey with you at the same stage, and then start asking, how does that impact your interactions with your clients? How is your evolution as a company, as an entity, impacting your ability for your clients and the people who are following you to still continue to follow you? Right? How are you making sure that they're staying plugged in and that they're able to retain and communicate at that same level? Because you're growing. Every time you learn something, every time you capture something, every time you do a launch, every time you release a new program, you evolve because you know what it takes to put together a new program, to put together a launch, to do a live event on a big scale, right? Every time you do an exponential growth type event, you grow. And then so does your perspective, so does your effectiveness in your communication and your ability to communicate that message. And that can separate you from the client who was not on that journey. So just think through that. I really just would love to hear any comments you have around that. How does that pertain to you, right? And what do you see that as a result you need to change in how you're marketing your message or having those sales conversations with your people? So I would love to hear that from you below, and we'll keep this conversation going. We'll talk soon.